Hello there. I've just found this cute looking caterpillar. Got a few hairs on there. But guess where I am? I'm up at my allotment. I've been dying to show you guys my allotment. Now, it's not very big and it's super overgrown because I haven't been able to do much this year. So all this nasty grass and dead raspberries are mine. But I did manage to dig out this before, planting season started. And in here we have some pumpkins with a very cute pumpkin there growing up. Variety of pumpkins and squashes. Some beans on poles doing very well. And my sweet corn, which I really wish I could have shown you a couple of months back because they were full of life. But as you can see, they have they've gone to seed and everything. They've basically produced the cob, so it's past the interesting stage of fertilization and more into the growing fruit stage. I love these tassels. It's my first year growing sweet corn, so it's a really interesting experience for me, and I have no idea to tell when these guys are going to be ready. They're pretty big, and I have quite a few from what is essentially one seed packet, which is really nice, as I like sweet corn, and that's going to be really tasty. So I don't know though how to tell, other than I've heard peeling down the leaves and seeing if they're ready. Otherwise I don't know how to tell. But yeah, so the little bit of education for you guys. This is the essentially the male part of the plant, all the seeds. And you should ideally be planting your sweet corn in a square like I have. Doesn't have to be big, just has to be in a sort of a square formation so that when the wind blows, those seeds can then fall down onto what is essentially the female part of the plant, into these lovely tassels. Seed falls down. You can self-pollinate it this way too. You can collect all that seed that's just blown away in the wind and sprinkle it as best you can onto the tassels, and that fertilizes the tassels and produces the fruit, little babies. So there's some simple science for you guys. I'm no scientific person, but it's very basic. Anyways, moving on to the beans. They are doing superbly, coming up quite high. Let's see. These ones were a little different to the other beans. I had two varieties here, but I'm not fond of beans, so these are purely what my mum has chosen. Trying to get the camera to focus in on that flower. A lovely little pink flower. And then, there's remains of one of the little red flowers, which is usually what you find on beans. Here we go. Nice healthy looking ones there. And we did have a bean. We picked it off yesterday. But yeah, beans are growing up pretty tall. And they are lovely. And over here is the little squash patch. Now, all of that up to those bins is mine. And it was really good value, £15 for the year to have all of this, but it's a bit of a field and it is hell of an effort to dig, so I only managed to dig a very small amount, and I'm happy with what I've got. I don't need much to keep me happy. Anyways, I think this plant is definitely going to be a pumpkin, and that is a beauty of a fruit beginning to form. I'm very pleased with that. Got to keep an eye on my pumpkins, make sure they don't start climbing the beans. I think that is another pumpkin in there. You will notice, for those keen-eyed viewers, that this has a white speckly spot on it. Now it looks really gross, and that is a mould of some sort. I've read in my books, there's not a lot that you can do about it. It is in the ground and you need a fungicide to kill it, and you really should be killing it because otherwise it's going to spread all over your plants. And it did affect my neighbour's courgettes that they had over there. So I'm just going to try and pretend it's not there and hope for the best for that pumpkin. If I get one pumpkin this year, I'll be happy, because that's all I need for Halloween, and that's all I'm growing my pumpkins for. So I don't think there's any little pumpkin guys down there. But this is rather interesting. These pumpkins have grown up and become a lot more happier than the ones in my garden. They're so much more happy in the ground, and they've actually grown several different sprouts. Now, I did have a pumpkin here, but as you will see later, something happened to that one. This one, I'm not sure, could be a winter squash. Oh look, oh, lucky me. This little guy on here is supposedly a ladybug larvae. You can tell because he's got 6 legs and he's got spots, so should turn into a ladybug. But that's really nice. One of the good guys. Don't knock them off your plants, because I made that mistake and totally got rid of one. But it's a ladybird, so hopefully that's going to be good news for later to keep away my bugs. Anyways, moving on. Got some flowers coming along on these. I think this is definitely another pumpkin. I'm kind of telling the pumpkins apart because the pumpkins seem to trail off a lot longer. So that's quite a long trail. They have kind of more of a pointed, like a spade appearance to the leaves, and that one's more rounded and loopy-loop, and a lot of the leaves seem to be compacted in the middle. So that's how I'm trying to figure out the squashes from the pumpkins. Only time will tell. This one is trailing off, so I could be completely wrong. So we got another pumpkin here with some beautiful little flowers coming along. This one's a male and a lovely fruit. Which, ow! Oh, been pricked by the leaf on camera. I'm just going to remove the flower heads because those seem to rot actually really quickly, and then I don't want them rotting the fruit. So there's a little bit of pumpkin plant. Pumpkins are doing all right. Seems to be a fairly easy plant to look after, and I think this is probably one more pumpkin with another big nice fruit in there. 2 male flowers. You can, if I've got any in the garden, I'll show you the difference between the female flower and the male flower. But I was teaching my nieces and nephews the other day, and they were like, that one looks like a willy. Yes, you could say that one looks like a male anatomy in the flower. But there you go. Each to their own on how they figure out the difference between the male and the female flowers. I always figure out males, they got more of a long neck, and the females will have tiny fruit like bulbs behind the flower. Which I don't think I have any female flowers growing. Nope. But yeah. Anyways, this poor little fella is the remnants of what was going to be a beautiful pumpkin. Really sad about this. My mum and me were up here hoeing the ground, trying to get rid of all the weeds. Oh, there's actually a female flower that's never going to turn into a plant. But yeah, there was a pumpkin on this guy, and I asked my mum not to hoe along here because I'd already done it, but she went ahead and did it anyways, and she completely cut off and removed the stem of a pumpkin. So I'm 1 pumpkin down. That's not very nice when people don't listen to you, especially when you ask them nicely to be careful around your plants. I do have to be careful around these beans. You know, you can't see their necks anymore, so I just hand weed around them. And you will miss pieces like this blade of grass that's growing up in here. But yeah, quite disappointed about that, and I've been quite sad about that for a couple of days now. So yes, this is the allotment. I wish I could have got you guys up here a lot sooner to look at those lovely sweet corn, but life is what it is. Things get in the way. Plans are made and unmade. But yeah, this is the allotment. And for anyone who wants to know, I have used roof tiles as my borders around to keep weeds out, supposedly to keep weeds out. It doesn't work. The weeds are still in the ground. But I think it looks quite nice. Some people have complimented me on my choice of rockery around the beds. Being quite creative. Here's the four extra that I had. They're just concrete roof tiles, and I just plonked them in because I didn't really care what they looked like. Wasn't caring whether they were straight or anything. But yeah, and I used concrete or roof tiles, any tile I could get my hands on, instead of wood, because the wood rots so quickly and so easily. So a little longer lasting. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed today up at the allotment. I hope it's been a bit informative, talking about the male and the female anatomy of all these plants. Yeah, don't know if the mic's picking up, but there are a crazy amount of crickets here. Beautiful place. Sun setting over the hills, not that the camera can catch it. But yeah, I hope you guys are all enjoying yourselves and having a lovely day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of my videos. I might be doing more crafty things in the future. Might be doing more gardening things in the future. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds in store. But let's go down that adventure together. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!